Alright, we are recording, which I'm watching a little closely because it's, I did update OBS. Everything looks good, though. That's good. And this is Just Cause 3. Now I'm trying to remember, was the key provided for? It might have been. It actually might have been, now that I think about it. I'm gonna have to start saying it. So, yeah, I could hit continue, but that, why would I do that? I have to start a new game. Yeah. We don't have multiple save slots. Okay, so let me just look at my notes. I got a lot. Mainly just 3 large things, but one of them is the RTX 40 series stuff, which that's a lot. I want to talk about, yeah, I'll talk about EVGA first. And I guess I can throw this, that AMD is apparently going to announce RDNA 3 officially, or did they say launch? Don't remember. November 3rd. So, that's all we got on that. At least that's all I've seen. So, yeah.
Week continues in the Mediterranean tourist destination of Medici. The annual festivities are held in honor of Medici's de facto head of state, General Sebastiano di Ravello.
I'm the trouble starter.
I hope I don't get for this audio.
I'm the fear addicted, danger illustrated. This is pure insanity.
I've got quite a smile, because while there were some things that I do like better with Just Cause 2 than 3,
explosion averted.
Just Cause 3 really is an evolution of 2. It really is. And that's...
Some dissenters are allegedly sentenced to forced labor, mining the mysterious material.
Sorry. That's really awesome. Because as I know I've talked about before, Just Cause 4 does not feel like an evolution over Just Cause 1. So...
I'm the one infected, twisted, animated.
You are welcome, son. You are welcome.
I'm a fire starter. You're a fire starter.
Barnett.
Yeah, it's... And how the explosions work, because that's right, that's... Not in 2, that is here, that blowing up like that one fuel tank there can actually detonate the other around it. That, I'm pretty, if I remember correctly, that was new for Just Cause. At least for the Just Cause series, that is not in 2. But yeah, I do hope that they do Just Cause 5, but it has to be an evolution. It has to.
Cannot sit idly by as these terrorists.
What a load of horse apples. You believe this guy, Rico?
ETA to LZ, 4 minutes.
Morning, sunshine.
80s.
Wake up, Rico.
It's way to chilled.
Showtime.
Sheldon, where's the good stuff?
Oh, damn if I know. Hell, there may not be any good stuff.
This is for the rebels? Or is it for the Ravello?
One or the other. It's kind of hard to keep track.
Nothing's changed since Banal.
That can't be helped. You see, Sebastiano di Ravello is sitting on a ton of Bavaria, which makes him the agency's best goddamn friend.
This was my home, Sheldon.
Well, enjoy your homecoming. And, don't forget the 45. So, you're meeting your friend, right?
Mario, we go way back.
Good. LZ's 2 clicks out.
This should do it. Now...
What are you planning to do, son?
something... subtle.
Yep.
Here we go.
For Rico, a rocket launcher is subtle.
Wish me luck.
Why?
one of the videos that I took, I say, I think it was after I'd finished it. Well, it had to have been after summer, because I was messing around with the jetpack, and I kind of practicing using the weapons on it, and naturally going after windmills made sense, and one kind of got its revenge on me.
Rico! You better not be dead!
Okay. So I tried hitting it and nothing happened. Now I know what. It was locked in.
Is that you?
See, it's me, Mario.
Whoa! Amigo! I could use some help! Get up here and give me a hand! And climb fast!
The militia are here! Take them out! Yeah! I bet you militia were not expecting Rico fucking Rodriguez!
I may have to mess with controls.
Rico! It's been so long! Years! You came just in the nick of time. The Ravello's militia would have killed me for sure!
Nice work, Mario. You learned a thing or two since I left.
Yeah, you're not too bad yourself, huh? You still don't cover yourself. You must always cover yourself. This is pure insanity! I saw you coming in on the plane, and you were like, bah, bah. It was incredible! I'm glad you're back.
It's good to see you too, Mario.
But the rebels, they're in trouble. We've got to go.
Hey, Mario. I'll drive.
Hey, come on. Up. Control. On foot. Is there? Okay. There we go. Okay. Back. There. So now I have zoom somewhere much more going. And the grapple hook is on the same as what it was before. What it was in 2000. Since it has only been a week.
Mario, where are you? We're pinned down!
And I'll talk about the new stuff once we get through this tutorial stuff, which, I mean...
you know how it is.
Because I do want to talk some about the EVGA news, besides just saying, yeah, EVGA has decided they're leaving the GPU business. Handbrake is not.
A checkpoint! Don't stop, Rico! Nice one, Rico! It's just his militia have taken over all the towns, converting the police stations into fortresses. I had to start fighting. You see, Rico, Medici has changed a lot.
not the best handling car.
There they are! I wish we could use that tank, but it's not going anywhere!
I bet the cannon still works.
So much more dynamic. And look at how much more is here. I mean, this is... Oh, it's so nice and vivid. You know what would maybe be a good approach? Because it's been long enough since Just Cause 4 and I don't like 4.
Found Dima. She's pinned down at the farm.
A remake of like the original Just Cause, which I've never played. But do that and really push what's possible with
It's to be overrun soon. Requesting assistance.
Rico, can you go? You have to protect her. I'll meet you up there.
No problem, Mario.
You can take this chopper, Fratre!
Good morning, citizens of Medici. I'm, apparently, the new voice of the General's News Network. Your only legal source of current events. Another successful Di Ravello week is in the books. Some minor reports of anti-government action, but we have troops en route to utterly destroy the last pocket of resistance as we speak. Viva Medici!
And is there a run with sprint? It doesn't feel like it. But there should be, right? Nope. Okay.
You must be the backup! Get up on the tower and man the gun!
Alright.
We did it! You know, I mean, I did it and you helped some. But we make a good team, eh? Frigo and etc.
It's a buddy film waiting to happen.
Wow, I look amazing.
Ah, there you are.
Dima, Ali Umar al-Masri.
Radius not shattered. Scaffold intact. Ah, this grabber mother's dated. Huh, ancient. Time for upgrade. Come see me when practical. Or practicable. I must investigate which is which.
Dima, it's nice to see you too, Dima.
Oh. Hello.
Dima's fun. Oh yeah, tutorial yet? I don't know. There might be one more. Nope, this might actually be it. Cool.
Your grappler's still outdated. Come see me for upgrade.
This looks deadly.
What is it? There we go. I was trying to holster them. I guess I was just staying close to the thing. For that.
This is a dangerous undertaking. Rebellion in Medici. Follow me. For something entirely not clone-related. Come. It's an improved model. We can begin field test immediately. Do you still have your parachute?
Si.
Good. I'm glad we were able to reduce the catastrophic failure rate. We were cautious, thorough, safety-minded, not like...
Dima.
Remember Guatemala? I am not cut out for field work, but you rescued me. After Guatemala, I was assigned to study bavarium. Bavarium exists only in Medici. It's curious. In addition to its magnetic properties, bavarium can be refined into a powerful explosive, or almost limitless fuel source in the wrong hands. Oh, Rico, bavarium is in the wrong hands.
We're going to change that. I know I can count on Mario, Dima. What about you?
I made a lot of mistakes, Rico.
Forgiveness begins with action, Dima.
Yes,
She begins with
but No more excuses. I will help. I will meet you at the outpost, Guardia Alpha. You can help me test some new equipment.
Alright.
Rico, launch the grapple. While reeling in, open your parachute. Ah, good. Now, try again. Good. Now come meet me at Guardia Alpha.
So yeah, this shouldn't, well, she's gonna be talking some, but
Try
this is
using grapple while parachuting. Reel in to pull yourself through air. Like...
didn't.
Rico, stop, don't!
What?
There. Ah, explosion averted.
Explosion?
Safety first.
Are you alright?
Yes, move. All right. I should be on hand to address any hiccups in the design.
What?
You are not afraid of flying, are you? No, an acrophobic agent. Preposterous. Oh, these are rebels.
Salute.
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 What did you do to me?
This is a march of technology. Your grappler has been updated. There is less chance for violent limb detachment. You can now tether to items and retract. Your friend Mario suggested we call it Hachino 3. Although that name will likely not make it past that.
This Guardia Alpha seems like a good place to start. Maybe take out that gate?
Yes, it will allow you access to the outpost. Oh, I have noted that the rebels are weak at climbing fences. Poor diet, perhaps.
I know you guys have had it rough, but this changes everything. This device will let me tear the outpost apart without bullets.
It's gonna be fun. Especially when it gets released. But now I think I Alright, to do with that.
That did it. I'm going in.
So yeah, EVGA, a company that for a time I would have described as basically as close to first party NVIDIA as you get. Because for a time, NVIDIA, before the Founders Edition, has decided that they no longer want to make GPUs at all. The reason being, well, there's a few reasons. It's more so they're getting out of the GPU business altogether, yes. But it's a little bit more involved than that because it's not just we don't want to be making GPUs. No, it's that they found that the partnership with NVIDIA was very one-sided, even abusive.
Track now functional. Also, I request additional assistance. Please, note new coordinates.
So, like, one thing cited is NVIDIA doesn't give them information ahead of time about certain things like price change. I mean, it just... And also, NVIDIA... It was an interesting thing to read through and watch, but basically, NVIDIA taking advantage of them and probably all their AIB partners. And they said, enough's enough, they're out. And they're not interested in, hooking with AMD or Intel. It's nope, we're just gonna be done with it.
Is this communication network created by baboons? Impractical. Never mind.
You could have just yelled.
There is an attack imminent. Government forces are approaching.
It's a retaliatory strike for last night.
The rebels are in peril. They'll be overrun, crushed by opposing ground units. It's tragic, yet exciting. Not exciting. Not as an attack exciting. I misspoke. This is an exciting chance to test my newest invention.
What's that?
Also to avert disaster. Put out your hands. Like so.
What are you doing, woman? Huh? Ow!
Done. You now have wingsuit. Handy for gliding. It's best if you start near precipice. Wingsuit to bridge. I hope this works. For both our sakes, Rico. We have got to make things right.
Alright. But yeah, so there will be no
Hey, Dima.
EVGA RTX 40 series GPU.
Might not have mentioned. I've given you experimental device GE64, Bavarian base planted explosive.
We'll start with the bridge then.
Right, I forgot about these. Oh, yeah.
Vantage point now.
Di Revelo's forces moving quickly. Please, make haste.
I don't remember what it is to detonate. I can find out though.
Ready for the convoy. Di Revelo's military won't know what hit them.
Success! Hey, I recommend you make a deadly cool comic quip or... Wait, I am tracking incoming helicopters. 2 surface-to-air missile batteries are nearby. Marking their locations, recommend reprogramming. Now, access to Sam's command panel. The battery's under our control. Move to the other side. Hurry!
Okay. I guess it's dead. There we go.
That should do it. I've made myself some new friends.
Perfect. Oh, I don't want to be standing.
Good work, Diva.
And thank you for being test subject. Okay, bye-bye.
Come in. Rico, hello. It's me, Mario. Mario Frico. You remember my grandmother's place? She's cooking tonight. You must come over. Over.
How did you get a comlink, Mario?
What? We all got them. Hey, Rico, you're supposed to say over. Over.
We? Over.
Don't worry about the no-com links. Grandmatre is already cooking. Don't...
There we go. Man, I know. I want to talk about the other stuff. But it's just... that's going to take longer, so I need to, like, actually be...
You got skinny. Would you please tell Mario to get rid of that junk on my lawn?
Certo, Grandmatre. Grandmatre, doesn't like the car.
She never did.
Never finished it.
I was waiting for you. I don't blame you, you know, for leaving.
Mario, I didn't have a choice.
You know, I never really thought about it, Rico. But there's a difference between you look and you see. Look at Medici. She's beautiful. She's a jewel in the sun. But you see Medici. She's completely rotten.
Mario, why'd you get so philosophical?
No, it's nothing like that. I've been helping the rebels. But I'm a small timer. We're no army. You saw the attacks on Mirabello Week. The rebels were running away. They were hiding. It was embarrassing.
Mario, Rico, it's time for supper.
Grandmatre, give us 1 minute. We will be inside, please.
Mario, respect.
She's a little bit deaf.
Well, I got a plan. The Revello holds power in the cities and towns. And without his bases, he'll be crippled. We'll gather support, build our forces. I'm going to liberate Manea.
That's a tall order, Rico.
I don't think so. We've got to show the people we can take back their cities and towns for them. I'm also going to destroy Vis Electra.
That's crazy.
It's time to cut the power. The Revello built that plant in what? 3-4 months? I'm going to reduce it to a smoldering wreck in less than a day.
Yep.
Whatever you do, we've got your back. And whatever you destroy, we'll rebuild.
Bon. Muy bon.
Boys!
But all this talking isn't putting food in my stomach.
Let's go.
This older Rico is a bit weird, bit different from the younger one of Just Cause 2, but it still is. Good game. This is a good game. It's a fun game. Alright.
Hello, Rico. Welcome back to Medici. This is Alessia, the voice of Radio del Revolucion. Mario told me that you're looking to liberate the town of Manea and destroy the Vis Electra plant. I have to say, I cannot wait to see you in action. I'll call you again when you get close.
Yeah, it looks like I can just go after this stuff. Oh man, I love the wings. It really is such a positive such a positive thing.
I see you're at Vita Electra. They built this place in 8 weeks using prison labor, yet none of its power goes to. Get in there and blow up everything. As a rule of thumb, military assets are paid with bread. Go to town on that stuff. Those fuel tanks blow up nice, Rico.
What was it to... I can't remember how to pull out the explosive. Okay. Should be there. Yep, there we go.
Always a pleasure.
That's all of them right there? Looking for... I know he's being shot.
You got to open them. Find a set of breakers nearby.
But yeah, it does look like, though, I'm good for talking about the other stuff. Mainly, it would be the RTX 40 series, which is coming October 12th. I wanted to be certain before I actually said that. And it is kind of as unfortunate as some of the worst things suggest. Actually, it's worse than something I thought. I know I saw another. Anyway,
Here we go.
in that, well, yes, NVIDIA is claiming tremendous performance increase. They're also kind of saying it's in part achieved by DLSS 3, which that's a whole thing to talk about. The pricing is pretty damn high. Not necessarily when you look exclusively at the MSRPs of current 30 series, but it's still not really great. But also, I think most frustrating.
Hit the second one before the system resets.
What did they announce? They announced
the turbine's vulnerable now.
Sorry, I'm a little focused on this now. They announced the RTX 4090. Okay, yeah, that's not surprising.
Tough, but if you know where to shoot them, they blow up nice.
Men, fire out and fire. It's like a camouflage cloud.
There we go. So now I can get back to gunplay at least for a while. A bit easier.
Now you stay down.
And I'm also trying to remember what, right? But, yeah, so RTX 4090, no surprise. RTX 4080, no surprise. RTX 4080. Wait, what? Yeah, they announced 2 RTX 4080s. A 16 gig and a 12 gig. And the differences are not just that. We also have a substantial change, a substantial difference between them in the CUDA core counts, which is the main shader component. It's basically what they should have actually announced was the RTX 4090, 4080 with 16 gig, and 4070 with 12 gig. They decided, nope, we're gonna have 2 things, both named the 4080, that's just gonna confuse people. Though I did also see one person speculating they may have in part gone with the 2 4080s because, the lower 4080, what arguably should be the 4070, would be, they're pricing it at 900, as I recall. So like 900, 1200 for the 16 gig, and then 1600 for the 4090. Yeah, that's all. And it is also between the 4090 and 4080, the CUDA core count is substantially different to the point that, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a 4080 Ti. And this is also one thing that I would actually is telling us how far you've gotten. Where is that? There is a guy. Yep. Sorry, it's the whole classic thing of getting distracted by the game. But yeah, and they're saying that it's
Just put this right here.
I mean, obviously, NVIDIA's going to say that their stuff is the fastest available. AMD will be saying it too on November 3rd. Nothing wrong with that and nothing weird about that either. And in certain ways, I'm sure both are going to be true. We'll just have to see how it goes. One thing about Ada Lovelace, that's the code name for the new GPU architecture from NVIDIA. One thing that they talk about in that is actually very interesting. And I don't know enough about it to be certain. But I tried to hint at what I think is going on there in the write-up that I did.
Who's next?
So, GPUs are SIMD processors, which is single instruction multiple data, is what that stands for if you've ever seen it. What that means is it takes a lot of... Well, it performs the same operation on a lot of data all at the same time. They're highly parallel. It's almost crazy how parallel the work is for GPU. What they were talking about was shader... I think. Pretty sure I did. Shader execution reorder. Okay. So, the idea, and the funny thing is, this might actually be sort of a cover for bad optimization by developers. It's still a very impressive thing, but what they described made it sound to me like sometimes when the commands for the shaders, which the hardware shaders, which are within the CUDA cores in the case of NVIDIA, and AMD actually just calls them shaders. It's like these are what actually do the math to figure out pixel color, but also like position of vertices. In some cases, connecting together vertices to make edges. All that's handled by shaders. What NVIDIA was suggesting is that sometimes these come in not well ordered, so that you can't take advantage of how parallel a GPU can be when properly fed data. Ooh. Nice.
Better on fire.
I want to go and clear the other place, but I also want to first try to find some more ammo. But yeah, so what NVIDIA seemed to be describing was basically, hey, when this stuff is coming in a bad order, we'll just change it. We'll just shuffle it around so that now it will be in a better order that will hopefully then perform better, which it should perform better just by virtue of hopefully being able to better apply the shader, the hardware shader, to do the software calculations that shader function.
Greetings. As part of our beloved General Di Ravello's Public Works initiative, he's decided to raise Vis Electra and move towards a greener energy economy. It's just some routine, controlled demolition. Nothing to be concerned with. Like the fact that some armed man just took away my cell phone. Viva Medici!
Ow. That was kind of funny. The headbang. Ow.
Oh,
I'm not dead yet. I am. Oh, okay. We're gonna wait a little. Yeah. So as to the performance, NVIDIA's claiming, and it's also, I mean, the 4090 is a Halo product, so it's gonna be very powerful.
I grew up here, so I'm only too happy to give you a tour of how Di Ravello's ruined this beautiful city.
Figured. Possible too. But... Oh no, it did.
I'm pretty good with the chisel.
So I mean, it's like, yeah, Halo products, they're gonna juice it however they need to make whatever performance claims they want.
Shut that stupid voice up!
New joint with old. As my burning resolve cast red our new infrastructure, upon which lies the foundation.
These babies stick to anything.
Rejoice.
There we go.
Big mistake,
The police
guys.
stations have been taken over by the DRM. Take them back.
Reports of hostiles in the area. All units respond.
Oh.
This is dispatch. Target is still at large. Find him.
Not using it. Why not? Seriously? Alright. But what else they announced that will help with performance in some ways, it is going to be worth more careful analysis, is DLSS 3,
We are not Policia.
which...
Are these rebellious thugs, violent and stupid.
Is that it? Come on. Ah, there we go.
One less blood.
And I know there were... Oh, two back.
Let's blow something up.
There we go. So the DLSS 3.0, well, 3, Andy's the one really doing 0.0 stuff. Although true, there are multiple variants of DLSS 2, 2.3 or 2.4 is the current. Anyway, yeah, so that's what they were touting, was that, oh, it'll, work from 1/8 of, the what's rendered. Because what it's doing is it renders a frame at 1/4 the total resolution, so 1/4 of the screen. And it then scales that up for one frame. The next frame, it just generates. And I will grant that this idea of generating the entire frame is definitely interesting.
Copy that. Reinforcements inbound.
But as some people have pointed out, what about latency? Like, what are we talking about with that?
Winning!
There we go.
Additional support has been approved. They should reach your location shortly.
Well, I don't have much to do here.
To your position.
And I think once I clear everyone out, but once I finish it, they will all be cleared out.
What's happening out there? Respond immediately.
Where is... Cue it. Anyway, yeah, sorry. I'm trying to figure out where the speakers are and then the billboard. Possible. So this frame generation is definitely an interesting idea, as I said, but it's... there. What do you do about latency? Because you're talking about two frames that one of them is just being generated from the other, as in, how does it know it's doing any of that correctly? I mean, that is a reasonable question. How does it know? Let's see what I can do here.
There's a rebel hostage in a nearby vehicle, Rico. Go hijack the car and get them to safety.
Come on. There we go.
You sure you want to do this?
Requesting reinforcements.
Engaging the target. All units converge on the following coordinates. This is dispatch. Request received. Reinforcements en route.
I did see one person suggest what might be going on, which is possible, but very far from ideal. The suggestion was that perhaps the
left the area.
Well,
but I am awesome.
I did not actually mean to cause that to happen, and that, I'm guessing, is it. It's the thing that I was looking for, so it's a good thing I left. Yep, that was it. Oh, now, yeah, I need to change the flag.
You used to race cars before the night of the bonfires, huh, Rico? I hope you're not rusty. Take a spin and...
Alright.
Manaya has been set free, my friends! The Di Ravello militia, or as it's more often called the DRM, has been tossed out. Vive la revolution, mi fratres e sorores!
So yeah, what I saw one person suggesting is it might be that it renders 2 frames still, and this generated frame is inserted in between. So it holds, like, there's frame 1 and 2, it holds frame 2, and inserts like a frame 1.5 that it generates. And the thing is, I remember NVIDIA touting a while ago that they had come up with a way of doing exactly that to video, using the tensor cores and such. And it's like, huh, that, I wonder if that's what they're doing here, which would be terrible to a degree, because that means they're holding on to this rendered frame instead of just pushing it out. Or that it's also just, by inserting the generated frames, it's faking what the frame rate when latency is still poor.
It's right in front of you, Rico. One of Mario's finest garages.
All I see is a blue building on a dock.
I'll show you. Here, head to these coordinates.
Are the garages always on docks?
Sometimes they're at docks, sometimes near airstrips, but they're all the same. You could bring any vehicle to anywhere. You could bring a boat to an airstrip if you wanted.
How would I get a boat to an airstrip?
I don't know, Rico. You're the one with the crazy grappling hook. You'll figure it out. True. My point is, you can bring any vehicle to any of my garages.
But I assume I'll have to liberate the towns first.
Yeah, I mean, it's, as I saw one person make the point, it's better, like right now, this is a 60 hertz display I'm playing on, so I can't get higher than 60 FPS, as far as the experience goes, but the gameplay is at the 70s right now. I mean, that's...
This scooter? Why?
Don't worry about it, Rico. No one will miss it. Your map can help you find my garages. Go ahead.
Then why am I doing this?
I'm the equipment guy for the rebellion, Rico. I bring weapons and vehicles to the rebels all over Medici.
But why do you need this scooter?
Well, you remember little Cecilia Crespo? The one with the bad breath, they called her Dracona? This is her bike. Beauty, eh? She made fun of my hair. She said it was crispy, so we play a little prank on her, eh? And it benefits you and the revolution to boot.
And how does stealing Cecilia's stupid scooter benefit me?
Don't be slow. Rico, I take the bike, I break it apart, the guys use it to make more bikes, everyone gets bikes, everyone wins, except the Dracona. She won't be happy, but that's the point.
Yep. Yeah, as one guy saw pointing out,
Welcome back, Rico.
you're better
Just
off
park the bike
with...
right on the blue painted area.
There we go. You're better off with,
Stuck with just this stupid scooter.
there we go. With,
Well, hey, chillax, Rico. I told you, I'm the equipment guy. Just grab some beacons over there.
a lower frame rate, but better a latency that corresponds to a higher frame rate. So, like, I'm getting right now a latency that would correspond to about 100 FPS. It says 99 FPS. But I'm only seeing 60 FPS. That's a better situation than the reverse, which this would seem to support DLSS.
Using my new Rebel Drop app.
This one. They're all actually fun. Yeah.
Yes, you're getting a chopper. So, throw the beacon to a spot with enough space to take off and land and everything. And voila!
Not bad, Mario.
You bet your ass. Anytime you need anything, just use the app. But we can only supply what you can find, so get cracking.
Alright. I think... No, maybe not.
Rico. Ah, I should have figured you'd survive. What do you need?
I want to finish up the stuff before this video.
Di Ravello's bonnet, and Costa del Porto is about to suffer the brunt of his, disappointment. I thought you and your pal would like to know.
Thanks, Sheldon. Mario, you there?
I heard it. I'll meet you outside of town.
Day 1. My psychiatric evaluator misunderstood the importance of giving me a clean bill of health. I explained that I do not lack a sense of moral responsibility. I simply disagree with his morality, or rather, his mortality. So begins my military career. The chessboard now lay before me, filled with the possibility of ultimate victory.
Yeah, let's do that. Because, That should make Sheldon, yeah. And he probably has a portion. But I know. But yeah, so with DLSS 3, it is definitely an interesting technology, but does it actually make sense? Is a worthwhile question. And only by additional details and technical analysis will we actually know. But it is... I do also wonder, because it's going to have to do some frame pacing stuff with the generated frame. Because in theory, it's like, what if you had... It's a long time to draw the actual rendered frame, but a very short time to do the render, to do the frame generation. What do you do then? Do you make multiple, or do you now wait on that one? And also, when do you put it out there? I mean, it could be a frame pacing nightmare. It could really, and also it could lead to micro-stutters. Quite a lot, even. So it is definitely a, are we sure that this is what we want to do kind of thing. It just occurred. Nope. Stop. There we go. Alright. The DLC locations are not, well, the DLC missions are not yet available, so, which makes sense. I think they are locked behind something.
They don't want me here.
More units.
I realized this was only a semi-automatic. What else did? Oh yeah, there's the RTX remix stuff, which is interesting, but again, still a little...
Years in the making. Our inability to protect Malaya was easily predicted. It will be a trifle to recapture, but... the loss of Vis Electra. That is a failure that must not go unpunished. Right? Rico Rodriguez has been born of the same fire that gave rise to my reign. Soon, the world will know the extent of my power. He offers an opportunity for demonstration. Perhaps some motivation. The town of Costa del Porto. Barnett! And when he comes to protect the insignificant, kill his friend. Every action must and will incur a terrible reaction. And then the embers of the revolution will crumble to ash as they always have throughout history. Use the tanks.
Hey, I'm getting a tank. They could use better suspense.
You did this. You shoot your guns, you play at war, and they burn our homes.
Don't listen to him. We have to do this.
Got no choice. But I won't forget. The tanks are mine. You go into town, Mario.
We'll serve them up on a plate.
Rico, take out those tanks. I'm heading into town. Miramelo will pay for this.
Open sesame.
I could have sworn that there was limited ammo. Unless they changed it, which is possible. Cause chaos.
Rico, those tanks, you have to take them out!
There's only the one left, and it's mine. Yeah, so what RTX Remix is, from how it's described, it does sound like something neat, but I don't know, it worries me a little. So, it apparently takes a game, can import a game into it, DirectX 8 and 9 currently, not just generally in game. And the idea is it analyzes it and will then allow you to edit it, essentially make a mod for it that will incorporate various things. And one example that they use was Portal, because it's going to be a Portal with RTX DLC for it that was apparently built using this. And it certainly is interesting, but it also, one of the things described as portals running in the background. So it sounds to me like what they're doing is basically impersonating the game, the original game, with their own thing. That a modder can go in there and do what they want to with it. But this is gonna go boop. Let's help it go. Nope, don't need help it go.
I'm in trouble. Over. We're
What's up, shotgun? I'll bet you, figlio da puta! I'll take you all out! One of you!
Request backup. Request backup.
Ow. There we go.
They killed them all! The bastardos!
We need to get you out of here.
I called to the rebels to come help out, but there are too many of the Ravello soldiers. I don't think anyone made it, Rico.
Ow. You didn't need to do that.
Waiting outside of Kirilla. Is this everyone?
Just get Mario out of here. I'll cover you.
Target is fleeing. Engage! Damn! Reinforcements! Drive! Go, go, go! Get ready!
Whoop. That wasn't good.
Come on, Rico! We need you!
Ow. Well, so much for that. I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting to clip my tail into something. I can do with it. It's not that hard. The trick is actually the sensitivity while driving or flying, just moving the thing around the car. Not the camera.
Is this everyone?
Just get Mario out of here. I'll cover it.
Seriously? That was unnecessary.
Engage! Damn! Reinforcements! Drive! Go, go, go!
Mario didn't get in.
Get ready! Glide, Rico! Use that chopper to keep those bastardos off our tail! Ah, there's a military base! They'll be coming for us! We need to slow their reinforcements! Over! That base is going to send tanks after us if we don't do something, Rico!
Just get over the breach.
That truck! Rico, the truck! Send them in! We're almost there! Drive, drive, they're coming!
I have no, it turned and drove immediately into the ocean. I don't know why. But yeah, going back to the RTX remix. I know I keep getting distracted. So stupid of me. I just do worry that
Drive, they're coming! Oh man, Ravello must really have it in for us, amigo. All those people in Costa del Porto. We have to make the Ravello pay for this, Rico.
Here they come again.
We're almost there! Keep them open! We'll worry about the guns. You worry about the road!
you know what? want to shoot.
Everywhere!
Alright.
Of violence in the area. All units converge.
This.
Of search. Target
I'm just gonna go near there and then I'm gonna stop because I know I've been. But yeah, coming back to the RTX remix, I'm just concerned that it's. If it's basically just impersonating the game, there's some just weird issues that I can see happening. And it's also just generally, I dislike. They did this with Quake as well. So, like, there was initially the VK... Oh. Don't have a beat. Oh, that. Maybe have a go. How long have we been going? Hour and 20 minutes. Okay. Hopefully it all recorded properly. It looked like it before I actually started doing it. Yeah, I would just be concerned about how it's being presented, because like with Quake 2, there was initially the VKPT, Q2 VKPT? I don't remember now. Where a guy basically replaced the rendering engine of Quake 2 to be path tracing in Vulkan. And at the time you only had Turing, you only had the RTX 20 series, so that's what you have to run it on. Okay, that's fine. And he released open source. NVIDIA then is like, oh, well, we're going to take that and we're going to start we're going to do our thing with it, but we're going to start marketing that, hey, this is what Quake 2 looks like when you have path tracing in there. And then you got the Quake 2 RTX. But they also completely changed all the assets as well. So they were using high resolution textures, they were using normal maps, they were applying different things so you get ambient occlusion and such, and then it's like they basically applied like 20, 30 years worth of graphical effects, graphical technologies that did not exist when Quake 2 was written. Threw them all in there and were just marketing it as, hey, this is what you get when you turn on ray tracing. It's like, no, that's not what the guy originally did. That's what you get when you just turn on ray tracing. I'm just concerned that RTX Remix, you might see some elements of it being marketed like that. Like, hey, this is what happens when you just do this. It's like, it's not that simple. Because like with Portal 2, it's okay, we're, putting in normal maps and such that were not there before. We're doing this, we're doing that were not there before. The idea that it impersonating the game, though, is advantageous as far as games that you can't get access to the assets in. Like, Just Cause 3 does have mod support. I think it's somewhat limited, but is still there. But other games, you can't. You touch anything in there, the game freaks out. Well, this would be a way around that. But then it's also, you do have that game running in the background, as it said for Portal. Which is just a weird thing to say, it's running in the background. Unless it is like, no, it's actually back there, and that's how it knows, like, what happens when you turn left, what happens when you turn right. And it just, I don't know, it just seems like like it's fake. And so I would be concerned how that is implemented and how it gets applied. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just that. I would be concerned if it's... Because a fake can only go so far. Eventually you may find problems. But who knows? It could also prove to be a truly amazing piece of technology. I guess one way to put it is I would always prefer an actual remaster to that. But that would be a short way for a lot of people to get better quality graphics. One thing that I would actually also be interested in, and I just thought of this now, and it could be viable, is to apply that kind of RTX remix kind of thing, but none of the modding. Where all you're doing is impersonation, because there are some games where it's like, yeah, that game cannot run above, 60 FPS. There's some games that are like that, but if you're doing your own, and you're basically running a fake version of it, and it is using a 64-bit Vulkan engine, it said in the press release, on the blog post, then that might be a way that, you don't touch anything, but suddenly you're improving performance, because, it's like that is running in the background. The actual game is running with its limits in the background, but what you're playing is running much higher. Can run at a higher frame rate. But then there is the question of, well, can it actually do that? Is it that kind of faking that it can figure out what's in the middle, or is it just taking a frame, applying what information pulls out of that, and then putting something on top? I don't know. It is a very interesting technology. I would say it's more interesting than DLSS 3, because it's, what concerns I can think of for it are far less than the concerns I have for DLSS. And I will also say this, as far as AMD and a potential competitor to it, I would not care if they tried to make something to compete with DLSS 3. It's like, nah. Just, make FSR 2 better. So give us a 2.2, basically. We already have 2.1, give us 2.2. And if you do an FSR 3 that applies some kind of accelerated machine learning stuff, great. Do that and make that awesome, so that you have a direct competitor to DLSS, generally speaking. But I don't think that this potentially, it's just inserting interpolated frames is a great idea. And also one thing that I find amusing about it is it's kind of how video encoding works. Where you have an iframe that is the full rendered image, and then you have a bunch of p frames, which are predicted frames, which are based on the iframe. You apply motion vectors to figure out, okay, this block, this selection pixels moves here, this one moves here, this one moves here. And then you also encode what the differences are that don't align with the motion block. The motion vectors. So you then apply the entropy. You don't have the benefit of that entropy necessarily with DLSS 3, unless it is, no, you have that for the image, the next rendered frame as well, but then you have the latency. But it still is, it kind of seems like they're applying some things that you see in video compression, but it's still just a weird thing. Why would you do it that way? But who knows, maybe it's something like they're not able to get the performance improvement they want to. But with DLSS 3, then they can just market all the numbers, all the performance increases based on having DLSS 3 enabled, which means that they can double, quote unquote, the frame rate with these interpolated frames. And hey, isn't that awesome? See how high performance we are. And it's like, yeah, half the frames are fake though. So I would be concerned that DLSS 3 might in part exist as a way to claim higher numbers than are real. Oh man, now I'm just thinking, how would you do the frame time analysis? Because the generated frames would not be would kind of be fair to count, but at the same time wouldn't. Because you don't want those to throw off what the actual rendering rate is. That's what you care about. So if those are very fast, then it's like, well, that's just going to throw off your data. Oh man. I don't have an RTX 40 series card. I don't expect I will be provided one, and I know I will not be buying one. So I guess I don't need to worry about it. But it is depending, that could really screw up how data is recorded, frame time data is recorded, depending on how it is captured by applications like PresentMon. Yeah, that could be a problem. That would also be a reason why I would just not collect data with DLSS 3 activated. Because, I mean, I'm serious. If the generated frames would be counted in that, potentially I'd be like, no, I shouldn't include that in the data there because it's making this up, which is also part of the reason why it would make sense. It's not so, it alleviates CPU-bound situations, CPU bottlenecks, because it's not relying on anything from the CPU, or very little. It should be getting some, new inputs. Well, maybe. If it has a second frame already rendered, then it doesn't need that. It is just a pure interpolation. That can be done all on the GPU, so CPU doesn't matter anymore. But yeah, if that's being thrown in there, that's... Ooh. Yeah, I would not trust that data. I would actively avoid collecting it if I couldn't distinguish between them, or I would just always say, hey, cut it in half. Whatever the frame rate is, cut that in half. Whatever the frame time is, double it. Which is not great. I mean, it kind of reminds me of something a guy I knew who was in the Navy. He said, because he also was a medic in there, that whenever doing a physical, they would ask the sailors, how much do you drink? And just as a rule, they would always double whatever they're told because they expect the person is lying. And it's like, I feel like it would almost be like that. It's like, with DLSS 3, potentially, I don't know. Maybe the generated frames wouldn't be captured by something like PresentMon, but let's assume that it is. Generated frame in there. Okay, I'm just going to assume that the frame time is double because that's interrupting the time that it may be taking to render another frame. So it's like, no, there were not two frames rendered then, it was one frame rendered and one generated. So I needed double the frame time. I could see that being a situation, and that I would hate that. Hopefully, there would be a way for it not to be captured in PresentMon, or at least flagged in PresentMon, so that you could exclude. Because otherwise, you'd be stuck with DLSS 2, well, basically DLSS 3 without the frame generation, which might just be a new version of DLSS 2. Don't know. Yeah, I was not impressed. I couldn't watch the keynote, but I read the stuff on it. It's like, I was not impressed. Nothing about that, about the 40 series impressed me. It'll be interesting. It's possible to be, I think I could be impressed by what AMD announces for the new Radeon GPU on November. But that's more so what the chiplets are going to improve to make possible, but also the pricing. Hopefully they recognize that, no, this is a Ryzen moment for them. Undercut. It's like, charge based on how much it actually costs you. Don't charge based on how much you think you can make. Because I'm like, with Epic, they were like, the first generation Epic was offering comparable performance to the Intel stuff at like a quarter the price. Maybe that is a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's like they went single $1,000 for a CPU while Intel was at tens of thousands of dollars. So an order of magnitude difference there, but it might have been like just a quarter, working out as a quarter, or maybe even just half. But it's still, that was huge. And that is what AMD should do. They should recognize, that's what I want them to do. They should recognize NVIDIA is trying to abuse the fact that prices have been high, and to just keep them high and be like, oh no, this is all fine. It's like, yeah. And also the confusion stuff with the RTX 4080s. Don't let them do that. And the only way AMD can fight that would be like, okay, they're saying that their, RTX 4090 is $1,600. Well, we're going to put out the RX 7900 XT, our flagship, that directly competes with it at $1,000. So that would put it less than the 16 gig RTX 4080. And I'm just hypothesizing for the performance there. But it's like, just undercut it. Go back to what pricing was more like for RDNA 1. So give us like the 7700 XT that's going to be like in the $300 range. Don't make this $600. Don't do that. I could see 7700 XT, and I know nothing of performance, just that class. I mean, that 7 class there. So you've still got 8 and 9 above it. 7, try to target like 300, 350. Because that's where you're going to make your money. And that's also true for NVIDIA, but don't just be like, oh, well, people are comfortable paying more. No. Make this a volume thing. Because AMD wants market share from NVIDIA. That's how they're going to get it. It's not by just matching NVIDIA, it is by undercutting. By putting out good products, which RDNA has proven to be a very good product, and RDNA 3 has great potential because of the chiplet stuff. Like with Ryzen, hey, one thing that we make, and it spans the entire product stack. I don't think they're doing that. I think the rumors were saying that some of the smaller stuff will be monolithic. But if they can have these GPU chiplets, it's like, yeah, we can make, 1,000 of those and because of how small they are, there's very few that we end up having to throw out because of defects. So we can just bin these so efficiently that's like, yeah, going from cutting down prices hundreds of dollars versus NVIDIA, we can totally do that. That's what they did to Intel. They should do it here as well. That is my feeling. That I think would be the best thing for them to do, because they will gain market share then. If they can compete in performance, but take advantage of much lower pricing, NVIDIA will hurt. Because, and it's also with the EVGA stuff, the John Petty research article on it, one graph it showed was that NVIDIA's gross margins have been increasing over the years, but AIB partners have been decreasing. And part of that suggests that NVIDIA is like continuing to charge them more and more because they sell the GPU dies to ASUS, MSI, EVGA formerly. AMD does as well, but during the supply crunch and such, both of them did increase their pricing, is my understanding, to the AIBs, because the AIBs were increasing their pricing, or there were other middlemen involved that were increasing their pricing because, hey, they realized we could make this money. So AMD and NVIDIA increased so that it's like, no, we should be getting some of this. It's not just all for you. And just what that graph was suggesting with the John Petty stuff was that NVIDIA's actually been doing stuff like that for a while. Or they've been keeping constant, but other costs have increased that, the razor-thin margins for a company like EVGA. If AMD can come in under that, though, go back to how it was before, because AMD has said supply is not going to be a problem for 7,000. So Easemore won't be Ryzen 7000. So Easemore won't be an issue here as well, because I think it's the same node. Well, no, yeah, because it's 5 and 6 nanometer. And it's like, if the CPUs were going to be fine, you think the GPUs could be as well. So yeah, if they can do that, that's going to make them friends with the AIBs. The AIBs can also charge a little bit less. They could start trying to recoup some losses from margins being so thin. I mean, it's like lowering the price there, still make your money, make your profit, yes, but reduce the margin. That's what I think AMD needs to do. That is what will get them really up on NVIDIA at this point, because it's like that means NVIDIA will not be able to sell as well because of money. They still have the mind share issue. AMD's not going to be able to do much with that. But it's also I've seen some people talking about, with the 24080s. The people paying attention to that, even NVIDIA fanboys might be like, why are you doing this? So NVIDIA might be shooting themselves in the foot as well as the mind share too. So this is the time that AMD can really start hammering NVIDIA if they have a decent product. But more important, it's like the whole there's no bad product, just bad pricing. So long as they can manage, as long as AMD takes advantage of that, this is their moment. Hopefully they do. Because otherwise, we're not going to see inexpensive GPUs for a long time. We're not going to see things under control for a long time, and that really sucks. And I have certainly talked long enough. It's almost an hour and 40. Yeah. Hey, it's Just Cause 3, though. It is a good game. And actually, hang on. You know what? Let me check. Was this key provided? It was provided. That would have been provided by Square Enix, though. I don't remember if the DLC would have been provided or if I purchased that. It's entirely possible I purchased. I enjoy Just Cause 3. I would not have had an issue with paying for the deal. Alright. I shall stop now and get this uploading. See you next time.